Okay, so most of my life people ask me how I learned English and ask me for help to help them with their English. And I'm not a complete bitch, I tried. But the thing is, my English wasn't really a choice. My English wasn't much of my choice. My dad always knew that English was an important part of life in general because and then he put that into me and my sister's life since really young. Like we had computer games, we had little books. None of them really stuck because they were all boring. But the main thing that he made that helped us and really pushed us into it was putting the cartoons and TV shows that we watched in English, in the original language, usually English. We both hated it, of course. We didn't want to watch SpongeBob. We wanted to watch Bob Esponja, which is the name in Portuguese, in case you couldn't realize by yourself. We had little courses. I even remember something. I'm pretty sure it was in a floppy disk. You know, the thing that is the save button that it works kind of like an SD card, but it supports a lot less. I remember he tried to use money to really get us into it because this website at the time gave you little fruits, and then he said that your allowance will come from those little fruits, okay? Since I will know that you're learning. Even with the money, it didn't stuck because when you're a kid, you don't know the importance of money. At that time, you spend it all on candy, then you're bored. But we couldn't really escape the TV shows because they did repeat. There's no way we could say like, no, I haven't seen this episode. My dad saw that episode. We were a house with kids. He used to buy DVDs. Yes, I know. Do kids nowadays know what a DVD is? He used to buy DVDs, so we had two options. One, if we're watching it in English and with Portuguese subtitles, or in Portuguese with English subtitles. That was the only option. There was no way you could not look at the screen and not be letters written in there. The thing that they always told me to do also was to translate songs from English, because when you're a kid, sometimes you're not supposed to be singing a song with a certain lyrics. Now imagine that it's in a language that you don't know. My parents were really concerned. They always became like, they're Christian, so they're like, oh, you don't know if you're praising Satan in English. This is the nightmare of a Christian kid. And then when I was 12, I started to get obsessed with Friends. Friends is like half of my life. Maybe literally, because now I'm 22. When I'm 24, Friends will be half of my life. Oh wait, not focus. At least at the time, the channel that Best Friends was aired, that's the right word. At that time, the channel that aired Friends didn't have a dub. The audio wasn't available in Portuguese, so the only choice I had was to watch it with subtitles. But I was used to it thanks to my dad. And they aired like every single day, weekday in order. Like Monday is episode 1 and 2, and Tuesday 3 and 4, and etc. And when they ended, they started all over a circle that went on for years. 1 or 2 maybe, after a lot of Friends, one beautiful morning, the subtitles stopped working. I don't know, something went wrong. And then I realized that I understood what they were saying. It wasn't like, oh no, I watched it 100 times, I know what they're saying, even though I don't understand. No, they were saying words and I don't understood the words and their meanings and the whole conversation. So it was literally, I woke up one day and I realized that I understood conversations in English. And only then I started to search on my own with courses and school and try to actually look for. I heard cassette tapes in English, but I didn't have the whole course, so I had to stop like the first or the second one. When it comes to conversation and talking, that a lot of my friends say maybe I understand English, but I don't talk. This is more something of training, because the only way that I trained at the time conversation was with singing lyrics. The lyrics that I translated it so I could pronounce it properly. That's what I did. And then I wanted to make an internship. It never happened, by the way. And I wanted to know if my speaking was understandable because I never trained with someone else. Very few people in my circle speak English. I decided to take an article, translate it to English, record a video, and post on YouTube so I would know if people understood by the comments. This video is still the most watched video in my channel, and it's also the story of how I started on YouTube, but that's not the focus here. So I'm really sorry to all the people who asked me for help and I couldn't do it because that's the way that I learned, sort of by accident. A guided accident, if you will. I looked it up, and the best ages to start learning a new language is around 10. Something about second childhood or something. Anyway, by the time you get older, it gets harder, but not impossible. But I analyzed all those practice that my dad told us made us do when we were kids, and I gathered a few tips to help you now. 1. Use apps in your favor. In my time, and that makes me sound a lot older than I actually am, I didn't have a childhood with the amount of apps that you guys have nowadays. Smartphones started to become like a really thing with that everybody had it when I was already a teenager, around 15. By that time, I already spoke English. But now there are so many free options that it's insane. The ones that I've tried to learn other language are Duolingo and Drops because they feel like games, so it's not boring. But you can make your own research and figure out what's best for you, because that will change too. 2. Use strings in your favor. By that time, my dad spent so much money with DVDs, and now with one signature, you can watch a whole catalog in English with subtitle of your language or the opposite. My advice is to try shows that show day-to-day life, like The Office or Gilmore Girls. Something that is relatable to your life, and it also something that you can watch over and over again and not get tired of it. That's the key, because repetition is how you end up learning what they're saying and how to pronounce it. So maybe not Grey's Anatomy or The Witcher because they have very specific vocabulary. Try something on daily life, on the genre that you enjoy more than anything in the whole world. Number 3, read and listen. When it comes to writing and making sentences in English, you need to read. But if you're not a bookworm like me, you can translate words in English to your language. This works pretty well so you can see the differences between English and your language, the order of the words. Number 4, YouTube learning channels. I know I advertise a lot on YouTube. I know by the time that I upload this video will... Anyway, there's a video about why I love YouTube. I don't know if it came out after or before this, but I don't know, I'll leave the link somewhere here when it comes out. Anyway, the same way there's me talking a lot of shit, there are people who actually are doing something useful and teaching English online. This works best if you learn better with a professor. They are usually really organized with playlists on subjects, on grammar, and little differences that you think you know but you actually don't. And number 5, your usual YouTube channels. This one is more if you are looking to get into specifics, like me. I don't know almost anything about cooking in English. I have no idea what is what. That's how weird I am. I'm already bad in kitchen. In English, I get worse. But you go to YouTube channels on cooking or YouTube channels on engineering, so you can get into a more specific vocabulary and you can see if those channels have English subtitles. This one is more advanced. Even though language specific learning didn't help me, usual YouTube channels help me. Like gameplays, they usually have the text, so I know what they're saying, I can see what they're talking about. These all helps. And to advertise my own channel, I do talk about daily life in a light way, try to give it few tips, and I always try to put English subtitles and in Portuguese because it's my language and it's the language that I speak. If I get too tired, sometimes they don't appear, I had to catch up on my subtitles, but get ready to learn a lot of bad words. Just it will. Anyway, these were my tips. I hope it helps someone out there who's trying to understand English better or need to practice or just need to get started. I hope I'll see you next time. There are more videos here, more about daily life. I'll leave. You can check the playlist on this channel to laugh at my face. I'm here for you to laugh at my face. And I'll see you next time. I know I've said that already, but I'll say it again. Bye.